What's up, guys? We're back for another Rust update, and today we're going to cover pretty much all the changes that are going to be coming into today's update. Now, it is a forced wipe, and I am not sure if we are getting the new Radtown, the rocket launch / test site, whatever you want to call it. Now, if that is added, we'll go ahead and cover it, but, I mean, they've been doing a lot of work to it and a lot of commits to it, but it's still not on staging, which makes me think it's not coming in today, but we'll have to see. They could sneak it in last minute. So, one thing people have been complaining about a lot is that the guns just don't feel right in Rust, and I agree they don't quite feel right, but it's so hard to kind of track down why, and a lot of people were blaming the Aimcone. So Helk released a video on Twitter showing that the Aimcone was actually more of a square rather than a circle, as you can see here. And that is something that they went ahead and fixed. But past that, people are still saying gameplay just doesn't seem right. You make a headshot, and it's not a headshot, and where you're aiming isn't really what happens, and it seems too much of a gamble, like a roll of a dice. So that's something that they're working on improving right now. So we'll get to that in a second. And the first thing we're going to cover is the shotgun trap now has its own custom sounds. So that sounds actually pretty burly, and that's quite nice. Otherwise, the shotgun trap has stayed the same. Hopefully it is never changing because it works great. I love the way it is, and it is easy to counter by blowing up anyways, especially if you put 10 in a room, you can blow all 10 up at once. So, you know, it's pretty balanced. They increased the price. They're a little bit harder to get last time, and I think it's sitting pretty good there. So that pretty much covers that. Next up, we've got the DropBox in-game. So this guy is going to go ahead and be under items, and is it build? No. Items. Items. Okay, for some reason it's not showing up in the crafting menu anymore. Go figure. But it's going to be here in items, right there. See, Dropbox. And let's see, let's grab a code lock here. And you can code lock it. Oh, not anymore. Okay, you can no longer code lock it. I don't know if that's on purpose. But basically, it goes through any wall. You can kind of position it however you want, and someone can go ahead and submit something. So I can go ahead and be like, I'm dropping off my rocket launcher. Once you do that, you can no longer pull it back. So it's like one of those things, it's a Dropbox, so you can't pull it back out. And now it goes into this side, and it can be retrieved from the inside. Now, it has 100 health, and can be damaged fairly easily. So that's, you know, it's not meant to be some super thing. And of course, when you break it, everything does drop out the back. So we'll go ahead and toss a C4 on this puppy. So it sticks to it. So it blew up into little chunks, and it dropped the rocket launcher on this side. So, you know, destroying one from the outside doesn't really help you anyway. But it's a cool little addition, and I'm happy to see it in game. It's just another way to kind of, let's say you have a trade agreement for you protect your neighbors, but they have to drop off, I don't know, 2,000 sulfur a day for you to keep them protected. And you're not online, you can't always be online, they can't always be on when you are, so they can just put it in the Dropbox, you know? But there's the risk of someone, you know, breaking it and you losing all this stuff. So people could go around and just be assholes to spite you and destroy them. So that's, you know, that's something that can happen as well. But yeah, definitely cool little addition. Next up, there's moon cycles. So without taking several in-game days for me to show it, there will be certain nights where the moon will be full and the nights will be brighter. This is something that Rust used to have, and it has now come back as they've been improving the lighting system. So I'm pretty excited to see this. That'll be nice, and it's just, yeah, something that adds to making certain nights better. I'm not sure what this weird lighting effect thing is, though. I walk a certain way, it's fine. Then we walk this way, and it's like, bleh. So I don't know what that is. Hopefully that gets fixed. In addition to other changes, the floor spikes have also seen an upgrade from 50 health to 100. They are still fairly easy to kill, but this should make them a little more durable. Helkin team are aware that this still isn't quite the perfect answer to these, as they are still kind of a meh trap, but it is a step in the right direction, and they will continue to tweak things until they feel right for the game. So let's move on to a couple of other changes. The pump shotgun has been made 5 high qual less to craft. The Thompson 10 and the rocket launcher has more than 50% more durability. Instead of shooting about 18 to 20 rockets before breaking, you can now shoot 50 rockets before the rocket launcher breaks, therefore making your investment of 100 high qual much more, I would say, rewarding. The AK has also seen a change, and it has 50% more durability. People were complaining that you can go about 15 to 18 clips and the whole thing is just dead. So that also adds into your bang for your buck, basically. Now, what they have done is people are complaining about aim cones. So what they're trying here now is when tapping, your recoil resets. So as you can see, as I'm tapping, I'm hitting in the center pretty well. We'll go ahead and toss in a video here for a second, kind of comparing just the AK. We're not going to run through every weapon. And as you can see, if we start spraying, it goes out, and you're going to have to control it. So, you know, pulling down, you're going to get a little bit tighter. So, you know, not crouching, just spraying. There you go. Then we're going to crouch and spray. You know, not quite as bad. But if you... we kind of require to have more than 2 bullets in here to show spraying. There we go. Alright. If you pull down... not too bad. But yeah, tapping is going to be a lot more rewarding. As you can see there. So that kind of gives the idea of what's really going on with the new changes. They're going to see how this goes. It may also be a toggleable option. They're not entirely sure on that. When it comes to sway, weapons don't jiggle quite as much as they used to. It kind of feels like we have less of Parkinson's with the guns now, so to say. Because beforehand, it was just shaking like crazy, like you were low on blood sugar or just ill or something, and it's a lot better. It's also uniform through all the guns, so it should be about the same. And the laser sight, due to this new recoil thing, they had to do something different with the laser sight because the way it used to function no longer really helps. So now it reduces the sway of the gun by 25% when on. So, can we turn laser sight? So as you can see, the gun's staying pretty solid to where it's at. And it's kind of hard to see with the AK, so we're going to put it on the bolty, because we all know the bolty sways at distances. So you'll see, without it on, the bolty's kind of moving around a lot. But once we turn it on, it's hard to see, but you can see it's swaying a lot less. So that's actually a nice little change, and kind of just all fits nicely together with everything. So pretty much those are what's going on, or those are the big changes of what's going on with the gun system. So, you know, go ahead and sound out, how you feel about it down in the description below. That actually terrified me just now. I forgot that was even there. There's a couple other little quality of life changes. A lot of people have said, oh, you know, these logs that are everywhere, we should be able to harvest them for wood, or they're annoying and they're in my base and I can't get rid of them and I should be able to chop them up. So any of these little fallen logs that are currently really hard for me to find. Here we go. Like this guy can now be harvested for wood. They don't yield as much as a tree, so to get your most out of it, you probably want to use your metal tools. It's not just... What? Oh, hi, bear. I was like, what is that in my screen? It's not just these big logs either. It's also these little twigs, so you can get rid of them. In addition to that, the desert equivalent has also been done. So there's these little cactuses that you previously couldn't harvest. You now can. Of course, they now hurt you as well. So you can even get rid of these. They give cloth and cactus flesh. And even the little yucca plants are going to give you some cactus flesh. Like, here we go, look. Wow, I should just come over here. All three are just in a little line together. So there you go. A little weird hitbox, but once you get it, you can get rid of all these. Which is pretty great. But that pretty much covers what's going to be changing this week. There's a lot of changes to the Happus map, which looks like they're going to be going live. Again, it's some things are, some aren't. There's lots of changes also saying that there's loot added. I think that's mostly to Happus, but there may be more loot points on the procedural maps as well in the Rat Towns. I'm not entirely sure on that. We'll just have to see what happens when the dev block comes around. But that pretty much covers what's happening today. I hope this is a nice little summary for you and to the point, and you know, let us know how you feel about the new gun system. I'm pretty excited about the fact that it's going to be kind of more skill-based and less, you know, RNG. So hopefully this makes the game feel a lot more smoother. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to click that like button to show your support, and we will see you next time.